Hey guys, Jason for TheChartGuys taking a look at Tesla. Exciting action today. We opened outside that zone of resistance. We back tested it and we're moving on. And we are in great shape to change this daily trend on Tesla. And I'm excited to see what happens next. But today was a great opportunity for a couple reasons. One, we had a nice pre-market break of a key level. We'll look at that in the 5. And we had a nice back test of this trend. So this is a 4-hour trend that we drew, and we established our points of contact, and we added in our nice cloud of resistance, drawing our extreme point of that range on one of our candlesticks. So let's go look at the 4-hour time frame. We'll see how we drew that in. There's that range, 233.30. And then today's action was really quite remarkable. If we zoom out to incorporate all of our information, because TradingView likes to change the shapes of our patterns. There we go. Now it lines up nicely. Let's zoom in on the 5-minute time frame. Here's that 230 level. We break above that really nicely early morning. We see a quick back test. We come down 229.97, and you know what? Ultimately, we bounce off that zone of resistance, now acting as a zone of support and moving away from that conclusively. So nice to see early morning profit taking, 5-minute overbought response. We see that pull back. We see a nice bounce. We see loss of 231. Bouncing off of that key level, 230 support here, coming into play once, twice, breaking, then holding that trend line zone of resistance, now support, and then moving on. So bulls have successfully advanced and defended a couple key supports, and now we're in a solid 5-minute uptrend. On the hourly time frame, to continue this, we need to see upside continuation, and either need to see an EQ form underneath 233.76 with the current low being right here at 229.60. An hourly equilibrium would be absolutely beautiful. That would put us on deck to get a nice break through 236 and then on to 239.80. If bulls fail to do that, we do have that trend line support to fall back on. And on the 4-hour time frame, we have support established down here, most recently at 227.20, 225.17, and a couple more, 220.85, 219.21. But things are looking up. A little bit of strength and quite a few tech names today. And I'm eager and excited to see what we can do with this opportunity. So we will be checking in tomorrow. And hopefully we have some profitable situations to talk about. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all your comments and questions. If you have any, I want to hear from you. I love talking about charts, and I hope you do too. Hey guys, Jason for TheChartGuys taking a look at Netflix. Today was an important day for Netflix. We had good volume. We opened above our EMA 12. We were rejected from the EMA 26, but what's important is we took a shot at it. We got up there. We've stayed above that level by and large for the most part. 294.48 was our EMA on the daily time frame, EMA 12. And it looks like our closing price today, 294.34. So I guess a little bit under it, but you know what? I'm going to call this a hold of support. And what I'm really focused on is the fact that we dipped below, we dipped above, and we've had this nice close right around that major level. So previously in this run, we've never been able to get conclusively above EMA 12. That tells me that bulls are ready and they're chomping at the bit. There was a bearish attack, it was fended off, and bulls bought it. So we have a very tight spinning top, ultimately showing indecision, but we have a new high. And our daily trend is on the verge of changing, or at least setting up a change with the new high of, what's this guy, 301.55, and we are setting higher lows. So we're setting up a nice potential shift here from this daily downtrend that we've seen into a new trend, which can either be sideways or up. All that we really know is that something is changing in the market. On the 4-hour time frame, here's that resistance. We can see we've actually peaked above that with some nice after hours action, 301.55. We have a 4-hour uptrend for the most part, ignoring this big ugly lower wick. And if we go to the hourly, we can see that we have those higher lows with a nice high at 301.55. We see that early morning action, big run up, rejection, bulls buying the dip toward the end of the day, showing that they still have a little bit of strength and they are not willing to give up yet. This is exciting. We see good volume, we see good runs, and Netflix moves when it wants to move, when the bears are not holding it down. And you can see this volume really overshadows the bearish volume that we saw today. And a little bit of uptick here moves things in a big way. So on Netflix, looking good. I want to see the bulls break above that key level, the high day 301.55. I want to see that. I want to see bulls over EMA 26, and I want to see some support established as we get up to that level. If we were to break above 299, or just let's call it 300 psychological tomorrow, get a nice back test, hold that as support, things will be looking really, really good. But for the most part, things are shaping up. We've got a new high, we've got higher lows, higher highs on the daily, and we've opened the door to an overall trend change. So we'll be very cautious, but optimistic. We'll see what tomorrow brings, and we need to establish this narrative and watch it develop and be ready to capitalize on that opportunity. Hey guys, Jason here for TheChartGuys, taking a look at Apple. Apple had a pretty volatile day with these big upper and lower wicks, but the story that I see is the bulls made an attempt, they got attacked, and they counterattacked, and even though we show red on this nice long-legged spinning top doji, I am happy to see support confirmed around 211.06, especially in that big after, or not even after hours attack, late in the day attack on the 5-minute time frame, and then a quick bounce right from that level. We'll look at that at the 5-minute time frame. But what's important today is we broke to a new high, 216.44. That's good. We got over this 214.44 level that we ran into close to high day yesterday, 4 cents off. Managed to get over that. Bulls showing that they're ready, and this big attack again defended. So let's look at 216.44 as a high day resistance tomorrow. We do have 211.06, and with this big range that happened today, it's likely we're going to get an inside bar tomorrow, barring any major gap ups. But we did close right mid-range of this body, so that seems less likely. If we go to the hourly time frame, let's take a look at this action. Here's that original support. Nice hourly uptrend, setting a new high. We break to a new low, 212.51. And then we start to tighten up, ultimately breaking over 211.99. There's that big run up. And then we get a big drop right in the last 5 minutes of the day, I believe. We dropped and got purchased and bought up right away. Huge attack, fended off. And that shows me that the bulls are really interested. So we have a little bit of a 5-minute EQ, almost a support level here. We're right at that level right now. In fact, I would move that down to 213.87. I would keep my eyes on that price, looking for a break above 214.90 for the upside. And should we lose this key level at 213.87, we do have that a little bit of hourly support here at 211.36, 212.51, and then ultimately for me, it's all about this 211.06. So let's see what happens tomorrow. I'm excited to and optimistic that the bulls can get something together here, but it is going to be all about these two levels, 211.06, 216.44, with a nice inside bar setup tomorrow. I'd love to see some tight trading range here, and that would just give us a perfect setup for an amazing day on Wednesday. Anyway, we'll check in tomorrow, see what we get, and take it from there. Have a good day, guys. Hey guys, Jason for TheChartGuys, taking a look at Amazon. We had a nice inside bar setup, and unfortunately we opened right above that level right out of the gate. Not by much, but it was enough to negate that inside bar pattern. An inside bar is effective when you open inside the range of the inside bar and you see a break conclusively in either direction. We saw some chop right away in the morning that really negated that pattern for us. We saw a move to the upside where we got high day, and then we saw a move to the downside, support found at 1824.61. And that's really going to be key for us because we have this expanding volatility and we need to start establishing support. We just can't keep going in an increasing range without some sort of determinant pattern that we can utilize for trading. Otherwise, it really is just going to be noise, and that does not make anyone any money. We need to be able to find best case scenarios and make some plans. Right now, I'm just seeing a lot of volatility. So we do have some important levels again, 1824.61 for support, and then we also have high day resistance, 1850 psychological. We really need to go into the sub time frames, determine what's going on here and who's currently in control. And looking at this, we can see that the bears are absolutely in control currently. We have a 15-minute lower low, lower high pattern. Our current 15-minute resistance is at 1833.38 with that support at 18.24. If we lose that support and we see this trend continuing, we don't have any support on the hourly time frame until this low 1814, and below that 1796.23, and that's very likely going to be a 4-hour support as well. Jump into the 4-hour time frame now, and we can see that coming into play. So we do need to see what the short-term game is going to be for these 15-minute bears. If they can keep the control of this situation, knock out some key supports, then we have our 4-hour supports established. If bulls get over 1850, either well, unlikely to happen in pre-market, But should we get over that level and have some confidence, we don't have a lot of resistance here. I don't see anything to 1897 and more conclusively at 1909. So bulls setting up something very, very nice and special. If they can get a good consolidation power pattern on the hourly time frame, come up and get close to that 1850 level, really grind at it and get excited and punch through it, they have good opportunities here. But right now, the bulls really need to prove themselves as they have stalled out on this attempt at 1850, very, very close to this area of resistance at 1847. So almost an area of double top. So if we go and just draw it in, of course, it's not going to be very easy that way, is it? You got to use your historical levels, and I've changed the chart completely. So very close to a double top at 1850. I would just be playing that level. I would even just consider that this other resistance rejection is going to be from that zone of resistance, and a conclusive rejection at that. So keep an eye on the 15-minute time frame for the bulls. Watch it very early tomorrow. See who's in control and see if we can't get something more conclusive out of Amazon. But I'm excited to see tech guys getting some action, and hopefully they can turn these daily trends into a nice bullish opportunity for us. Anyway, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate your comments, and if you have any questions, I love to talk about TA and charts in general, so please send them over.